a girl a-running in a group. She had a high-speed motor in a 40 Ford coupe. She had a racing cam and a supercharged. Look at Buddy, hot rod at large. She's a hot rod. She's a hot rod. She's my hot rod.
This happens every once in a while where they recall these cars and they fix them and they just don't fix them right. I remember the one with Toyota and Honda had to recall all the Takata airbag igniters they put in because they too were wrong. Oh my God! Or they were installed wrong. They weren't properly done, and that was millions. They had to redo them. Well, here's another one. Jason Levin, the director for the Center for Automotive Safety, which is not a government agency, but it is federally funded and other funded. It's not a official government agency, but they're calling for the NHTSA to investigate certain Toyotas and Subarus. I believe it's the Toyotas are Scions. Toyotas and Subarus that had previously been recalled for faulty valve springs that were causing engine noise and stalling. This was late last year. And they've all, well, not all of them, but they were getting fixed. Well, 411,000 of those vehicles were recalled. 411,000. If you know Subaru, that's just about all the cars they sell. And they they were recalled last November, and they've been undergoing the needed repairs. Well, Levin says his group has received numerous complaints, that even after the repairs, these cars are still stalling and knocking. The center is calling for Toyota and Subaru to cease current repairs and determine what has gone wrong. In other words, you done something wrong, dudes. You got to fix it. These cars aren't fixed. They're still clacking and dying. Yeah, it happens. I've seen this happen more often than not, actually, with some of the recalls. Way back in in 2009, 10, 11, when Lexus had to recall those cars that were accelerating by themselves into Toyotas. First, they said it was the floor mat. Then they said it was something, and then it was a little clip. And then when you took your car in, they never told anybody. You took your car in, you got to reprogram your computer because that was a computer glitch, and nobody wanted to admit it. It's with a sad note that I have to report this story. We have another death by Takata. Honda Motor Company on Friday confirmed the 16th death caused by an exploding Takata airbag in the United States. It's just here. After a joint investigation with the NHTSA, Honda has determined that a June 2018, so it's been a year, almost a year that this happened, it was a 2002 Honda. 2002, that's a 17-year-old car. So how many of these do you think are still on the road? 2002 Honda Civic in Buckeye, Arizona. I think I got a sister who lives out that way, Buckeye. Resulted in a death by Takata. The airbag exploded and killed the person in the car. That's the 16th victim of Takata in the United States. Now you understand why I just beg you to go and get that. If you get your airbag fixed, Toyota's got a program now where all you got to do is show up, and they'll fix it. They'll take care of you. Honda, all you got to do is go to the dealership. Tell them, run my VIN number. I got to be affected. Almost every car they made, Toyota and Honda used exclusive Takata airbags. So almost every car they made, and that goes back to 2002. Those are killers. They're killer cars. They're killer airbags. Oh, jeez, oh, Pete. I tell you, it's not. You got to get it done. You just got to go and get it done. You got to take the initiative. You got family in that car. You don't know. You're rolling the dice, or shooting craps like in Vegas. You're rolling the dice and you're taking a chance on your family's welfare over the slightest little fender bender. All right, I'm off my soapbox. I get wound up about Takata airbags. I really, really do. People are dying and nobody's paying attention to it. You remember back in 2009 during the automotive industry disaster? We reported that Chrysler Corporation was closing 789 of its dealers in an effort to regroup and to get financial assistance from the U.S. Department of the Treasury. In other words, it sounds kind of like they were coerced. It does sound like that because they had to get trimmed. They had to lose a little weight before the doctor would operate. Okay, I've heard that before too. Trust me. Well, almost 300 of those closed dealers are still fighting the government in a class action lawsuit 10 years later, or not. It's nearly 9 years after the fact in a civil action lawsuit in the Court of Federal Claims. The suit claims that the federal government at that time did in fact coerce Chrysler to close those dealers or lose the federal bailout monies. The suit should take 6 to 8 weeks and could pay these dealers $850 million. I thought at the time it was very, very suspicious that Chrysler closed almost 800 dealers across the country in an effort to trim the fat, so to speak, and make the government say, well, okay, now we'll loan you some money. We're going to bail you out. We wouldn't bail you out before because you were grossly overweight. Now, we'll give you some money. Well, guess what, government? Those dealers, I want some money because you owe them. 300 of those dealers that are still kicking, they're not dead. Apparently they're not a dealer anymore, but they filed a class action lawsuit and they want their money. They want the government to come clean and say, well, we did this. We made Chrysler shut you down, which I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure they did. That's just my opinion, of course. That doesn't reflect the opinion of WIMS, WHFB, or any of our affiliates. This is not anybody's opinion but Big George the Carguy, okay? That's just the way it is. There's a new designated driver in town. This is funny. You're going to like this, actually, especially if you have to like a couple of beers now and then like I do. A Portland, Oregon startup company, and it's called appropriately Designated Driver, has a new twist to the self-driving movement. Instead of calling OnStar for help, don't do that, roadside assistance will become on-road assistance. In situations, the passenger in the autonomous vehicle, or if the car itself deems it's too tough for the computer to handle. In other words, the car will tell this company, hey, this guy should not be driving. Using a remote control, similar to the drones that the military uses, a designated driver that could be hundreds of miles away will take command of the car and truck and save the day. In other words, you can't make it home, or you have something wrong with you, or you're a little impaired, or maybe you just want to text your girlfriend, or your girlfriend, you want to text your boyfriend. So you just let go of the wheel and designated driver does it for you. You know what I want to know? I'm being completely honest here. This company's in Portland, Oregon. Portland, Oregon. What in bejesus do they know about driving in Chicago? Or Hammond, Indiana? Or Benton Harbor, St. Joe, Michigan? What does the guy in Portland know anything about driving there? Huh? I'm hoping they have another computer screen with a map to tell them where you live. You're going to need a little GPS. Somebody's going to need some GPS here. And it's just going to be, I wonder if they'll have a screen so they can see so you don't run over anybody. I don't know. But a designated driver sitting in a closed room 1,000 miles away will drive you home. In an effort to raise funds, they say will be used for infrastructure and claiming to want to reduce pollution. Just like they said about the lottery was going to be for school. Yeah. The city of New York has included in their latest budget proposal a congestion fee for driving in the Big Apple during peak hours. Congestion fee. Are you ready for this? Can they come up with any more new names for taxes? That's a tax. A congestion tax. What's there going to be next? Indigestion tax for food that gives you heartburn. You got to charge you for extra for that. The new fees will be $12 or $14 for passenger cars and $20 for trucks. You know how many cars they got riding up and down? Oh my God. Oh my God. $12 or $14 per car and $20 per truck. It's expected to raise $1 billion annually to be used for upgrading public transportation. They're trying to get you to quit driving in New York City. They want you to take public transportation. Wow. It's going to be upgrading public transportation. Certain other big cities, such as London and Singapore, already have these fees and claim about an 18% drop in traffic. But no figures yet about the money that they've collected. I'm sure whatever they said that money was going for, that never went there either. That's just how the government works. You know, and I know, this is a tax, and somebody's going to steal it. It's not going to go for upgrading infrastructure, just like the lottery didn't go for our schools. Our schools are still always broke, and the lottery's broke in Illinois. But I'm just saying, they always say this. We're going to fix up everything if you just let us give you another tax. We want to give you one more tax. Just one more this time. Only one this time. And that'll be the last tax forever. Yeah, right. Can you imagine paying $14 to drive through New York City downtown because it's during the peak hours? How are they going to do that? How are they going to collect that? A toll bridge? A toll booth? You think traffic's slow in New York City now and it's crowded? Wait till they put in toll booths and start collecting their $14. Give me a break. That might be the stupidest idea I ever heard. That might be the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. How London and Singapore get away with it, I'll never know. And an 18% drop in traffic? Is that any good? Is that helpful? I mean, how much pollution have we stopped with that? 18%. It depends on how many cars, I guess, there was to begin with. If there's 1 million cars, what's 18% of 1 million? 180,000. Wow. I don't know. I don't think it's going to work. And I tell you what, I know the politicians are going to steal it. I just know they are. It's not going. It's not going where it's supposed to go. I can just absolutely guarantee you that. Okay? Take that to the bank. Your car guy told you. You heard it here first. Strictly my opinion again of the car guy. Well, in the It's About Time category, Nissan Motor Acceptance Corporation has agreed to pay $2.2 million to settle a lawsuit filed in the Central District for violating the Telephone Consumer Protection Act. According to court records, the finance company, Nissan Acceptance, that's their company, like General Motors Acceptance and Ford Motor Acceptance, Nissan Acceptance. According to the court records, the finance company was using pre-recorded robocalls to contact customers who had fallen behind slightly or more on payments. However, instead of reaching those individuals they were calling any number they might have on file and actually contacting third parties and fourth parties and let everyone know that Big George the Carguy was late on his payment on his Nissan. Well, you know that's not true because I wouldn't have a Nissan. But they're letting out your business and spreading it down the road. You know? It's just gotta be that way, I guess. There's going to be a time when the new computer and everything is really great, but your business is out there, trust me. Everything, your personal life is out there for sure. Ford Motor Company is exiting the passenger car business market. Where? In Mother Russia, in Russia. I like saying Mother Russia. I just like that. The joint venture in Russia is called Ford Solars, and it will shut down 2 assembly plants there and focus on the light commercial market. Ford also announced the closing of a transmission plant in France, as well as staff cuts in Germany and Britain. So they're reorganizing all through Europe and Asia. They're really doing their thing. They're going to close two assembly plants in Russia. Russia. The Red Menace. They're closing two plants there. You know what? Good. If there's not enough sales, because you know what? From now on, when these guys are going to make cars somewhere else, they're going to sell them there. They're not going to be able to. Well, they'll be able to ship them here, but it's going to be just a little too expensive now because the trade values are the same. Everybody is paying the same rate now, and that's that doesn't make it cheaper to do things in a foreign country.